No, it's not.
Fuck.
So now you're alive. You were alive for like 2 minutes, 2 hours. Okay, when I get home, if you're streaming like for a while, I might join a bit.
Just get up right now. Oh, what's going on? Why is my fucking... Why is... What is... Yeah, alright, take care, Nadim. Hurry up, you big dummy. You want Jimmy D? Jimmy D that. Hello! Hello! God.
Someone's ring got destroyed.
What's this called? Discord. 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 Open up Discord. Open up Discord, mate. Open it up. Open it up. Discord, open. Oh my god, this shit's fucking... Discord. Share the link, invite, copy, and we go here to here to here. Marble Man. Marble Man's a base fucking dude. Paste. Enter. You go, bro. That's Instagram. And we go here and we paste it in there and now wait, what the fuck? No. Fuck.
Yo.
Hello, my friend. I apologize.
You're good.
Hold on, real quick. I apologize.
Are you doing the test?
No, fuck. I mean, I've been seriously trying to figure this shit out, and like,
Technology.
you know, I am Das Boomer. I'm trying to invite a friend. Okay, so I go here, and I go here, and I go here, and I go paste the link.
I thought it was funny though. Like as soon as I said Damon was coming, everybody's like, "I'm out."
Wait, what happened?
As soon as I said Damon was coming, they're like, "Yep, I'm out."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I'm down for that, but like,
Oh, I'm sure you are because you actually can have a logical argument with somebody, even if we agree. You can still converse
yeah,
without like delving into like, yeah, sorry if I like might have snapped, but I don't do well with low IQ people. I'm not very. That's why I turn down a lot of debates because I can't actually debate people that are like, I don't. And I'm not using this to slander anybody. Like lower skill than me.
yeah,
Like I
no,
can only do. Yeah.
I 100% agree with you because like that's like one of the reasons why like I had to stop doing TikTok debates
Mm-hmm, yeah.
is because like nobody would actually know what like I was like they would say like, oh well, this isn't logical. I'm like what is logic? What is logic? And they're just like well, logic is just it's what we make in our brain.
Yeah. Right. Right. And like
It is just
I'm
like
not trying to like backbite, dude, but like there's several times I wanted to say like, but I knew you wouldn't understand. I was gonna say like, what you just said is a logical fallacy, and then like to quote Andrew Wilson, and then tell me that I have no room to talk about relationships because I'm married, but you're using a basis from somebody that is married is a logical fallacy.
yeah, and people don't actually know what a logical fallacy actually is. Like
So I just kind of steered away from that.
there was this one guy I was debating. I think it was it was yesterday. He was like, well, there are things that are older than Christianity, and but they're older. I'm like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
you're making a historical fallacy.
Right.
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure it's stupid. I was like, that's what you're saying? Like that's what you have to say to me?
Yeah.
Like
A lot of people just don't make any sense, right?
yeah.
Like if it would have been a good faith argument, like I don't believe in red pill at all, but I do believe some of what red pillars prescribe are good, right? It's just the way that the listener interprets it. So like even what whatever that guy's name was saying, like having these standards. Yeah, it's fine to have these standards, but
Yeah.
to hold all women on the negative outlook of those standards is not accurate.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I figured you would because like what you were saying is like you need to go talk to them, and that's true. Like even if they could be 304s, how are you going to know?
Yeah, that's the thing that like boggles my mind is all of these people that want to talk about like how bad women are, and I'm not trying to be whatever, but you won't go up to a girl and say hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, you won't do that. You won't.
right.
You won't. You just like, oh, women bad.
Yeah.
It's like, go up to her and say hello. No, women bad.
But we heard their reasonings. That's why I DM'd you that. You were obviously busy, like with the stream. But I was like, look, we're learning right now that their whole basis is because women reject them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like just go up to a girl and just say hello.
Right, like, and
People are
just
like,
because I'm married now doesn't mean I've always been married. I know how chicks reject dudes, and I know it sucks, but
yeah, yeah, exactly. Because like so many people are like, oh, well, you're married now, so you don't know what dating is like.
or
It's
is
like,
it that I'm
well,
successful at dating?
yeah, it's like, well, obviously I was successful at it.
I would
I had to
actually
do,
say that marriage is harder because it's dating, right, all the
yeah,
time, but
yeah,
with the other like aspect of it, like I gotta constantly keep relationship fresh. I gotta. It doesn't make her not a woman anymore or a modern woman. It's not like I married somebody that's 75 years old. Like my wife's
yeah.
still
Oh,
27,
shit.
28,
So
28.
you want to join in?
Oh,
Who
that's my
this be?
man. That's Damon.
Who this be? Who this be? Who this be? Who this be?
Hey guys.
That's the man. He
Hey
ran
John.
everybody off.
Hold on, real quick. Sorry, I had to cough. What's up?
Yeah, you guys good?
Oh, we good. We had we did have a fun conversation.
Fun for shit. Fun for you.
Shit.
So so what was all this shit about, man?
Oh wait, you're the guy that's on Jake's stream all the time, aren't you?
Yeah.
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 All right.
Yeah, you're dealing with
Yeah,
Jake's
I see you
admin.
in the chat a lot, man. Putting in super chats.
What's up?
I said I seen you put super chats in a lot on Jake's streams.
No, yeah, I like Jake. He's good.
Yeah. He's fun, man. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a
But
good bean. He's a good bean.
to summarize, like, to your question, is that it was kind of like almost like a red pill conversation, Damon. It was like about relationships, and there wasn't very many questions, but like it was a lot of answers. Like I think John asked like one question: "Is marriage natural?" And that was about it. But the rest of it was like them just coping with the fact that women are whores and they don't want to date them, so they're all whores.
Yeah, it was pretty much women sleep with people, and therefore I don't like women. It's like the fuck.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is like when you don't get into the club, right?
Yeah.
If there's a key to get into a club and it's like an exclusive event and only certain people are allowed in and you're outside, you're like, it's a shit club and it's a shit night and I don't even want to be there because it's shit. But when you get in, it's like, this is the best thing ever. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
none of these guys can get a girl that wants to be with them or sleep with them or whatever. So they're like, girls are shit. But when they finally get a girl to spread the legs, it's going to be like, I've got a girlfriend, you don't.
Right.
Yeah, it's just so fucking like Marvel over here. He's already a married man, and I don't know you, Damon, if you're a married man. I'm not a married man, but
it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. I don't knock people who don't want to get married, and I don't knock people who. I think it's better to not get married if you haven't found the right woman.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to like. I also kind of think it's wrong to knock those people who are in a relationship, exclusive, but not yet married, because they can have their own reasons, and maybe they don't want to get married yet. Maybe they're kind of waiting for the right time. And as long as they have that, or as long as they're welcome to that idea, then that's okay. I think it's a problem when you're with somebody for ages and you know that you don't want anything more with them because either there's trust issues or you think they might not be the right one. In that case, why the hell are you wasting time with them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
like
I would agree with the same thing.
I think like what my issue is like I don't think that all like what you I agree with what you said is I don't think that all men, you don't have to be married or anything like that. I just don't like when people that are refusing to see relationships as could be a good outcome or giving prescriptions to other single people, right? Like, oh, don't get married because women are whores, or you're going to lose all your money, or you need this,
Yeah.
you need that. I don't
I-
like that.
I
Like,
hate that
just be
argument.
single.
I hate that argument of like, yeah, oh man, like marriage is like it's a deal that's stacked against men. Don't get married. It's like a badly kind of arranged system that kind of wants to attack men, and you're going to lose 50% of your shit or whatever. Like, I
Right.
think that shit's wrong. I think, I've seen some pretty intelligent guys that make that argument, and I think, oh man, why the fuck are you making this argument?
Yeah,
And it's
I would say the same thing because if you were I don't understand how to use this shit. I'm finally live now. Okay.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah. I've been trying to figure this stuff out. This is my first time being live or trying to do it. But yeah, like these people who like are like, oh, these women are bad. All of this. But you've never asked a girl out. You've never gone up to a girl and just like said, hello, my name is John. Do you want to go on a date?
Yeah.
Well, it's a self-esteem thing. It's a big self-esteem thing as well. Like, don't forget, like the ego is a fragile thing. You're gonna have these people that would rather say that's shit or that's a bad deal or that's dangerous or that's a whore or whatever, just to justify why you're too scared to go up and approach it, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that will say that to kind of make themselves feel better or make themselves look better. And I think the only way that you're going to help them get over that is by saying, look, everybody else knows that you're scared, or everybody else knows that you're weak, or everybody else knows that right now you look or are acting like a failure. So you're not tricking anybody with this kind of language that you're employing.
Yeah.
You need to work on yourself. You need to do better. And once they realize that, I think that's the first step of helping them come out of that kind of bad pattern of thinking.
Yeah, and it's funny.
Something better.
It's funny too because like a lot of people, they do say this to me as well, and not just on the internet, but actually in real life. They're like, but what if she says no?
Oh yeah.
It's like if
Exactly.
she says no, she says no. Fuck off.
Dude, either way, it's good for you. Either way, it's good for you, right? Because look at what happens to those creepy guys, like in the worst possible scenarios. In the worst possible scenarios, those creepy guys will look at somebody, they'll obsess over them, they'll think like, I'm not going to approach them because women are whores or this or that. In their mind, what they're really thinking is, I'm scared. I'm scared of getting shot down. I want to be with that person, but I can't. I'm too scared to approach them. I think they're going to say no and all this stuff.
I believe you should be shut down. I believe you should be shut down.
Yeah. But what I mean is that those people, if they don't ever ask the question, if they don't ever approach the person, those are the kind of guys who, in the worst scenario, end up having that girl's head in the fridge, right? They end up like, they end up being the stalkers. They end up being the serial killers. They end up being the kind of people who kind of, look, I've made this kind of mattress cover using her skin and all that kind of stuff. those are the weirdos. Those are the psychos. And
Yeah.
in the best possible scenario, if they don't approach the girl, they end up those people who kind of waste 10 years of their life constantly obsessing over them, thinking what could have been, until she gets married to some other guy, has kids with some other guy, and then they're
It's
like,
like-
that woman is a fucking bitch. I hate her.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
that you end up being this kind of really fucked up. Those are toxic guys. When people use the word toxic, that's what actual toxicity is, right?
Yeah, no,
People who
I would 100% agree with that because, like, I hate the word toxic guys, but what you just said, yes, yes,
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure,
and the
because they're
funny thing
bottling
is-
up all those emotions, right? Men are
Yeah.
not supposed to do that.
Yeah,
You don't
but
need
the funny thing is that the progressives who love using the word like toxic masculinity are using it to describe the men who actually go out there, approach women, take what they want, put
Mhm.
themselves out there, take those risks, and they're encouraging more and more men to be these weak simps who don't want to approach women, who admire them from afar, who end up becoming these actual toxic guys. They're the ones encouraging genuine toxicity with
Yeah.
what they're accusing of being actual kind of male toxic behavior. Like, they've got it completely ass backwards.
yeah. No, I would agree with 100%.
But the other good thing about going out there and getting shot down is that, like, not only is it that you are closing that opportunity that you think you have, which you actually don't, and and therefore you can then kind of focus your attention and your efforts elsewhere, but also the more you do it and the more you get shot down, the more you realize and you learn what doesn't work for you. Like, you learn from those
Yep.
mistakes, and also you kind of get better with dealing with rejection, right? So it helps you grow, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like
And
anything,
like,
right? You learn something.
yeah, exactly. For instance, I had a friend who told me that, like, he can't stand being rejected by a woman. I'm just like,
Ask him to
Bro.
approach men then.
no, I actually that was actually I actually asked him that question. I was like, what date men? And he was like,
Exactly, yeah.
he was like, why would I date men? I was like, well, men will say yes more than women.
But this is the funny thing about red pill guys. If you
It's
listen
just
to these, like, if you listen to the guys who are like extreme red pill, like, you know, the kind of guys that sound cringy, right? That like the guys that you were mentioning earlier who seem to hate women. Those guys are like, you know, like the guys who are like, women don't bring enough to a relationship. Women don't contribute the same. Women are weak. Women need support. Women need all of this shit. Men are stronger. Men are better. Like, when you meet those guys that kind of love blowing all this wind up men's asses, and they just love shitting on women and saying that women don't do shit and women aren't worth shit and women are weaker and, you know, women bring nothing but problems. When you meet those guys, just say to them, like, why the fuck aren't you gay? Like, if you think men are so amazing and women are so weak and they don't bring enough to the table and they're shit, why don't you just become a gay guy? If you listen to these guys, the strongest couples and most successful couples should be homosexual men. They should be the most productive, amazing, awesome power couples out there. But the statistics show us that isn't true. So
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, if you want a relationship where there are the ultimate providers, be gay.
Yeah. Tank country that should do it. But then they're like, well, yeah, but I don't like that. Then they're like, when you see them and they're like, well, no, because I'm straight, I want a woman, and, you know, being like, I'm not gay, I want a woman. When you tell them that, well, that means that they're bringing something to the table that you need, which is a vagina or whatever
Well,
else that you enjoy about women.
that's
So that
it for them,
Well,
exactly. So whatever.
because
It
they're essentially
it doesn't even have to be a vagina. Like they want something just to put it into. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
they're
Well, whatever
essentially
it is.
male feminists, right? So feminists,
Yeah.
like true feminists, like
Yeah.
they hate men and everything else, but they're not lesbians, right? So
Mhm.
it's just about the sex to them because everything is women's fault, but yet like the men are, like for example, this one person said earlier to us that the divorce rates are or people the marriage rates are down because men are subconsciously choosing to not marry women, but in the same breath also said that modern women aren't worth marrying. So he's like giving credit to men, right? Saying that's why people aren't getting married, but what is really happening, right, is feminism, and
Yeah.
women are working and pursuing careers and not. So they just take the blame, or they try to take the credit for something and then blame. They just don't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big problem with the red pill way of thinking is that they simultaneously, and this is what makes it feminist in its nature, is that they simultaneously want to think that they're the strongest sex, that they're the most
Mm.
powerful sex, that they're the ones who kind of created everything and originated everything, and that they're kind of superior in that sense. But at the same time, they
Right.
want to act like victims and blame all the bad shit on women. And you
Right.
can't be the hero and the victim.
Right. Can't be the alpha and the beta.
Yeah. So this is what feminism is. It's feminism from the women's perspective, at least modern feminism, is I'm a victim, I'm oppressed, everybody else is taking shit from me. I'm constantly being held back. I'm living in a system that's stacked against me, this patriarchal, male dominated system that likes to put women down and hold them back. But at the same time, I'm this kind of boss bitch, queen, empowered woman. It's like you're not. You're not going to be strong and great and also be a crybaby bit victim.
Is
Right.
Jake up right? Is Jake up right now?
I doubt it.
Yeah, probably.
It would be like 3 a.m. his time,
Yeah.
2 a.m.
All right, never mind. Sorry. Keep going.
But what was this morality thing you guys were talking about earlier? I saw in the chat in the Discord. And people were talking about morality from God's perspective and all this kind of shit.
Was that me?
I don't know if you were there, John. It was in the VO pod Discord.
Yeah,
So
I've been at work all day, so I haven't.
Oh right.
I haven't really fucking gone to Discord.
So this person said, whether or not God's morality is subjective, would you disagree that God's morality supersedes all morality below it? So whether or not we as mortals believe something is good or evil, God is what determines good or evil. I don't know what he
Okay.
was thinking.
I think. Well, yeah, God's morality would definitely be subjective to our own. Well, it would be different to our own, but He would also understand our own.
Yeah.
And it would supersede our own because He's going to be the judge, right?
Mm.
What point was he trying to make there?
I'm not sure. It came out of nowhere. Like if you look at the message, like the messages before that, it had
Right.
nothing to do with the conversation. So it kind of came out of left field. The only thing, like what he said, it kind of makes sense is like, but what you're saying is correct. If man was to turn a city full of people to salt, that would be evil. But if God was to do it, it's just. That implies that not only is God's morality different than humans, it supersedes it. Our concept of evil does not apply.
Well, no, our concept of evil would still apply. It's just that because he supersedes ours, our
Mm,
concept of evil does apply, but we can't apply a human concept of evil to a god, right? In
mm,
the same way that, like, for example, if I was to, or if you saw somebody just go approach somebody else, if you saw some guy approach somebody in the street and all of a sudden just overpower them, tackle them down to the ground and start chewing their face off, right?
mm.
You'd be like, that's evil. You can't do that. Like, if he kills this guy by literally kind of like ripping him to shreds with his teeth, like tears his throat out, rips his face off, just starts mauling him in the middle of the street, you can say that what he did was evil and fucked up. But if a lion does it in the jungle, right? If there's some guy who decides to idiot gets out of his car and just walks through the jungle and like gets torn apart by a wild cat, or like, you know, on some kind of safari, he just kind of gets out and gets eaten by a lion. You can't say that the lion is evil. You can't
Right.
apply human standards of morality to that. So it's about that perspective. And like, if you think about a lot of the things that we consider to be evil and how we use our moral standards, we apply it to finite beings, right? Like, we know that we've got a life, and we know that that life is going to end. So a lot of our morals apply to safety, respect for the fact that we're frail, vulnerable creatures that could die.
Right.
But you've got God out there who's like this immortal being. So, imagine many humans don't understand the fact, or don't believe in the idea that there's an afterlife and you're going to have you have an immortal soul, right? So you go through this life terrified and afraid because you think this is all there is. But if you've got this outside force that's judging everything and that realizes, well, look, your soul is immortal, that this is a phase you're going through, this is a test. And when that test is over, there's a whole lot of stuff after it, right? He will understand morality as we have it on earth, and he's going to judge us according to how we behave and how we treat others, right? But at the end of the day, it's not the be all and end all, because there's this infinite soul that many of us on earth are unaware of or don't believe in. So it's almost like, imagine if you met a bunch of people who wake up and they're living their life terrified because they think that when they go to sleep, they're never going to wake up again. This is all there is. It's one day. You're going to be like, okay, look, I can entertain that. And if I'm judging how you're behaving throughout this day, I can understand that. But there is a tomorrow. And they might not believe tomorrow, right? And I know that's a difficult concept to imagine hypothetically, but you're going to look at them and think, look, you're being silly. You're going to go to bed, you're going to wake up, there's going to be another day. But how they act is going to be completely different to how you act, and it's not going to make sense to you. But when you kind of start understanding that this is how they believe their world operates, you can understand the kind of morals or ethical system that they're going to set up. But it isn't going to be the same as yours, because you understand that, like, there's a whole life out there. So
Right.
just because like people's systems of morality might differ, it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, I mean, you wouldn't judge those people in the same way you judge others, because you understand that they don't understand the concept of going to sleep and waking up again.
Yeah.
No, I would 100% agree with you.
And I think like the two sides like that were arguing this was, one was saying like the morality, most of our morality comes from man, right? And then the other person here believes that your conscience and the morality stems from God, right?
Right.
But I think it's a mixture of both, right? We had morality before we ever had the Word of God. Maybe not to the same level, But
No, I would say that I believe that morality is not there. There's no way we can have that without God.
Well, even before we had the
No,
word
that's
of
not.
God, those people believed that we were created by God. So he's what put
It, some
he's what
God,
put
though,
that
right?
into us.
Okay, okay,
So
okay. All right, all right. I understand.
But some God,
I understand.
not the Christian God, but some God.
Yeah, okay. I get it.
So, like, I guess, like, yeah, you could say God, but I think what this person's arguing is Christian God, like Christianity,
Hmm.
and that would not be the case because even today, countries that do not believe in Christianity have moral ethics.
right, but Christians would still believe that God preceded us having a Bible, right? God didn't somehow come into existence when people wrote the Bible. God was always there, right?
Hmm.
So they would say that even before the Bible existed, the reason why people behaved the way they did and had kind of like cultures that had a system of ethics in place and people who knew that they didn't like doing bad things to other people, they would say that that's still because God put that divine spark in them, right? To understand right from wrong.
Yeah,
And they would say that,
as a Christian, yes, yeah, that's what we would
yeah.
believe.
Yeah,
So they would say that even when you have these countries that don't believe in God and that don't have a Christian God, the reason why they've got like these systems of morality and ethics is because God still created them nonetheless, and He put that spark of divinity in them to understand right from wrong, whether they believe in Him or not.
I mean, I can see where they're coming from, like with that statement, but like whether or not that's actually true or not cannot be proven, right? But I
Well, I
think like
think the best.
we can.
I was just going to say, sorry. I think the closest you're ever going to get to having some kind of proof that that's true is the fact that it's much, much, much easier going through life being bad. It's much easier. Like instead of waking up and going to work and spending a third of your life working and earning a bit of money, it's going to be much easier to just go in and within the space of about 2 minutes, robbing a convenience store, right? It's much easier to just do bad things, steal money, take what you want, right? Kill
Mm,
somebody and take their house and take their life and assume their identity and kind of live the life of a rich guy. It's much easier to do all these bad things. But if you put many people in that situation, they won't do it. And even if they even if they know that the risk isn't there, like if I was to say to you right now, hey, look, there's like $100,000 on the table, right?
mm,
And you're at this person's house. You've only just met them. They don't know you. They don't know who you are. They don't know anything about you, right? They don't have like a ring camera. There's no security videos around. Um, and if you take that money and run away, they're going to catch you, and then there's going to be a big problem. They're going to call the police. But you've got the opportunity right now because like the guy's back is turned. You can stab him in the back, kill him, right? Take that $100,000 and run away from the house, and the wife and the kids won't ever find you. They're just going to find the dead husband or father on the floor, and they're going to be $100,000 poorer. But you're not going to get caught, and you'll be fine. Would you take it? Would you do that? Would you kill the guy and take the money and run?
right.
Now, most people would be like, "No, I wouldn't do that," right? Because they know they're going to feel a certain way about it.
Right.
But undeniably, your life would be better. Your life
For a
would be
short
better.
period of time.
Well, for forever if you don't believe in God. Because
Well,
if you don't believe in God, you
that's
don't
not
believe that you're going to face a final judgment.
that's not true though. Like it also, and it's to agree with what you said originally. If you believe that that's by our design, the effect of taking that life will have some negative outcome in the future, whether it's
Well, because it will weigh on your conscience, right?
right, yeah,
Now, this is what I'm saying. For an animalistic being, if you look at any other creatures on the planet, they don't have a problem killing others.
right,
They don't have a problem killing, hunting, and like they don't have any problem doing that, right?
Right.
And they don't have a problem stealing shit from others, because if you look at bird species that will lay their eggs in a different species of bird's nest, they'll take that opportunity. And you look at those insects who lay eggs in other creatures, and it's going to kill the creature when the egg hatches, right? Like disgusting things that they do to other creatures, but they don't give a shit. They don't have a conscience, right? But we do, right? We're one of the very few species that actually shows if you look at some other primates, they've demonstrated evidence of showing a conscience the more highly evolved they are. But we're the only ones that will go out and make these laws that we have to live by and limit our own freedoms, restrict our own freedoms to have this better quality of life. And those people's arguments, and like I said, it's the closest thing we have to a proof that there is a God. The closest thing we have to a proof is that no other creature lives this way, but we do. And we will limit ourselves. We will limit our own success, our own pleasure, our own better quality of life, just because we feel like that's wrong and it will make others suffer. It will lower the quality of life of somebody else. So I'm happy to have this lower quality of life myself, because I don't want to impose this worse quality of life on somebody else by taking their husband away, by taking their father away, and by stealing that money that they need to live on, just to improve my own quality of life. I would rather suffer by losing out on that 100,000 rather than imposing that suffering on them by killing their provider and taking that money. Now, why? Because we know we won't get caught. We know that it won't come back on us. And if we don't believe in God, we think there's not going to be any kind of final judgment, and I can get away with this, but I still won't do it anyway. Why? That makes no sense. The only way it will make sense is if some higher being put that conscience in our head, put that understanding, put that kind of understanding of morality and right from wrong in our mind. That's the only way this makes sense. Well, because evolutionary, if you believe in evolution, according to evolutionary biology or evolutionary psychology, we should kill that guy and take that money every fucking time.
Yeah, but that psychology also doesn't, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying at all. Like, I do believe that it does probably come from God, but if we use that standard, a lot of it would have to do with our sentient, like being sentient, and you're internalizing everything that you're doing, right? Like, what does that mean?
But if you, I agree with what you said. You're 100% right. But according to evolution, that makes no sense. Why would we do that? It holds us back.
Well, because we're above that.
Us back. That sympathy, that empathy, is a bad thing. So we should not have it. So if we believe in evolution, if you look at everything that we've gone through as a species, all of the wars, especially war and killing and everything else, the survival of the fittest kind of aspect should say that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, we should have dumped empathy and sympathy a long time ago.
But who's to say that we won't in the future, right?
No, but just because we're
kind of getting
it
there as
future, but it doesn't mean that
Well, that would improve, like that would prove that evolution to be correct if we evolve past the empathetic nature that we have, and we kind of are if you think about it.
But if you look at systems of design, if you actually look at systems of design that have been, if you look at things that have been created with a specific function and purpose, you will often see these limiting factors that are put into that design that may seem like they have no purpose, but actually do have a purpose, right? And those limiting factors are a proof that there is a designer to that system, right?
For sure.
Now, I believe personally that this is the same thing that we see when we look at those things like morality, sympathy, empathy, conscience, that was actually put in our animal brain to stop us from doing what we as animals would normally do. So that it teaches us to understand right from wrong. So you take
Yeah.
this primitive animalistic creature, this savage beast, and you put this understanding of right and wrong in its head, and then you suddenly have this civilized human. And the only reason why somebody would do that is if there is a kind of test in this life. And if they weren't just suddenly kind of like, they didn't grow from this primordial ooze, but they were in fact created with a purpose.
Yeah.
And part of our life is to discover what that purpose is, perhaps, but more importantly, to live a life that's good. Because
Yeah.
whether we like it or not, when we do bad things, we don't feel good. And when we do good things, we feel good, right? And
Yeah.
Plato discovered that long before the Bible. And that's why he informed a lot of Christian kind of moral thought, I guess, you know. But that's basically the earliest strong concepts that we had with regards to what justice is and ethics and morality and what a just man is, what it means to be a just man. And you look at the dialogues of Plato and you'll see that kind of whole idea of when he kind of creates this map of the soul and he tries to question what is good, what is bad, what is a just man, how to live a good life and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this right now. It's fucking. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I do have to go to bed. But do you guys want to pick this up tomorrow?
Yeah, we can talk another time. Yeah, you guys usually start late, man. I mean, I saw the message I got from Marlboro, and it was like, I think that was like 4 o'clock my time.
Oh, it's 4 o'clock at your time.
No, when you guys first started debating, it's 10:30 in the morning now for me.
Oh,
But
it's 10 o'clock in the morning for you.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
That's
Well,
5:30 here.
yeah, I live in California.
Oh,
You
man.
you finally got some professionals on here now. I see how a normal discourse takes place.
No, this is like fucking finally, like, because like I do a lot of TikTok debates and those people are fucking dumb.
And I'm even taking the opposing view just for the sake of the conversation. I believe in God and there's a creator, but it's good to learn, right?
Yeah. No. I'm 100%.
So Marlboro, wait, Marlboro, do you say you believe in God?
Yeah, 100%. I was just,
Yeah.
using what their questions would be, right?
Yeah.
And
No,
learning
I
for
mean,
myself.
see, yeah. I mean, if you guys want to wrap up, if you guys want to finish, if
I'm
you,
good for a while.
John, if you stop the live, there's some stuff that I can tell you guys off stream, like if you want to stop the live, and then when we're backstage, I can tell you some stuff that's going to be happening.
Now you have to fucking make me do something that I don't even know how to do. I'm still learning this. All right, okay.
He probably knows how to do it. Just ask him. He runs Jake's stream sometimes when Jake's not on there.
All right. So I just end live.
End live, yeah.
Okay, end live.